I have seizures, and I had two seizures back to back. Worried about Kennedy.
Marco Dean is distraught. Her family has been desperately searching for her 27-year-old niece, Kennedy Walton.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to the Milk Carton series. I'm your host, Stephanie, if you are new, and as always, we thank you guys for tuning in. Today's episode will focus on the disappearance of 26-year-old Kennedy Walton. Kennedy went missing on March 3rd of 2022 from Belleville, Illinois. Now, before we get into her disappearance, I want to say if you are any family members and any news article that is listed below in this video is inaccurate, please let me know and reach out. I know it's very hard to reach out to family members, but I always try to give the accurate information. And a lot of these news companies do not get it right. So I want to make sure I'm doing my part. So let's get back into Kennedy's story. Like I said, Kennedy went missing on March 3rd of 2022 from Belleville, Illinois. She was in Belleville because she was there to take care of her sisters while her mother was getting surgery. Now, the strange thing about this disappearance is there's not a lot to go off on. And what's even sadder is I have never heard of this case, and Kennedy disappeared a year ago. It blows my mind every time when I find cases and I'm just shocked. I shouldn't even be shocked at this point, but here we are, right? Now, Kennedy is listed at about 5'10" to 5'11", weighing around 260 to 270 pounds. She was last seen wearing black leggings, black shirt with a black jacket. She has black to brown hair with brown eyes, and both her ears are pierced, and her middle name begins with an A. Now, I really was looking at Kennedy's photo and I just seen how beautiful this young lady was, and she was described as a gentle giant, and I get that feeling from her photos, how gentle she could have been, you know, like just looking at her videos and her photos from what her loved ones discussed. Now, on this day, like I said, Kennedy was in town because her mother was to get surgery. They returned home around 9:30 p.m. and Kennedy went out around 10 o'clock. There isn't an accurate time from what her mother said because her mother went to take a shower, and when she looked at the clock, it was going on 10:30. And in one of the news articles I read, there was a surveillance footage of Kennedy in her mother's 2007 white Chevy Rolette Tahoe around 10:30 p.m. Now, Kennedy went out with some friends and one of her roommates, as listed in some of the articles, and they went to a Show Me Bar and Grill in St. Charles. And as we get into this is what I find to be a little strange, right? Kennedy is said to get up abruptly and go to her car around 1:10 in the morning at this bar and grill where she's said to be crying. And one of the friends went to go check on her, but she said everything was fine, everything was good. And then that same friend, when they left, Kennedy said to had sped up from them as if like she was in a rush somewhere. And it also states how her friend went back to Kennedy's home because when she sped in front of them, that caused for concern. But when they got back to the residence, I guess Kennedy seen them there and she drove away from the residence. And like I said, that was the last time anyone had ever seen Kennedy. And her mother also details that around midnight, she had asked where Kennedy was because she wasn't currently back in the house. Kennedy had texted her mother at 12 a.m. saying that she would be there in a minute. So her mother went back to sleep. The natural thing to do, your daughter, your loved one tells you, okay, I'll be home in a second. And you just like, okay, I'm going to go lay down. Well, Kennedy never turned up.
And she told her she was on her way back over there, but she never did show up.
Which is very sad. And so police also detail how that white Chevy Rolette Tahoe 2007 was found 2 blocks from her home, and a neighbor recalls a man parking that vehicle, and several items were disappeared from the actual car as well.
Was found 2 blocks from.
But there has not been any signs of Kennedy. And some of the police are saying how in the area, there is a lot of prostitution and some human trafficking going on. A lot of young ladies have disappeared. There isn't any solid leads to say that is what happened to Kennedy. All we can do is hope and pray that new information turns up regarding her disappearance. As always, guys, we thank you for tuning in, and I'm sending love and light to her family and her friends, and I pray that new information turns up. Until the next episode, guys, I'll see you. Bye.